Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a Mask Monday. It's late in the evening, so I have my jammies on and I am so excited to bring to you guys this Mask Monday. The product that I'm about to demo today is something that I've been looking forward to for a week now, ever since I got it, and I'm just really excited to give you guys my true feedback on this type of mask and how this mask really works. So without further ado, today I'm going to be demoing and reviewing the Fig and Yarrow Rose Result Clay Mask. Alright guys, so when you guys saw my Target haul, you saw that I got a crap ton of masks because I really wanted to get some stuff that I was comfortable testing and giving a review on, and those are masks. Masks are like my thing. So I picked up this guy right here, and I mentioned in that video that this is a powder clay mask. So it looks like this. It looks like cocoa powder. Here's what the packaging looks like. And it was really intriguing because I've never really used a mask like this, at least not a pre-mixed one. I've done like henna masks, like not henna masks, but like there's like a material that's similar to henna that Indians like to use as a face mask. It's called multani mitti, and that's the only thing I've used that was like powder and you add liquid to it and you make a mask out of it. So I'm excited to see what this guy is going to do. This only has two ingredients, I believe. Yes, two ingredients, and it's pink clay, which is kaolin clay, and Razul clay, which is Moroccan lava clay. So it's just two ingredients, so I'm really curious to see if this is going to be really strong, because it doesn't look like there's stabilizers in here, and there's definitely no binding ingredient because that's what we're going to mix in. So I'm going to read the directions for this and we will get into the demo. Half teaspoon of clay powder, add liquid, try raw organic honey, yogurt, aloe, or floral water, and blend well to achieve desired consistency. Apply to skin and allow to set until dry. Remove with warm water. Okay, so I like that it gives me the measurement of the powder, but I don't like how it doesn't give me the measurement of the honey, the yogurt, the aloe, and the floral water, and it's kind of just based off of what kind of consistency you like. I like my clay mask to be like the consistency of the Umbrian Clay Mask by Fresh, so that's going to be the consistency I try to achieve today, but if I don't get there, I'll just use what I made and see how it goes from there. But I'm going to start with little doses of the added ingredients, and I'm going to be using aloe and floral water today. So these are the two ingredients I'm going to be using. I have the Fresh Rose Deep Hydration Facial Toner, and I'm going to mix this with half a teaspoon of the powder formula and do it on half my face. And then on the other half of my face, I'm going to mix the powder formula with the clear aloe vera gel by Trader Joe's, and I'm going to do the other side of my face. So I really want to see what ingredients work best. The reason I'm not doing honey and yogurt today is because those are usually ingredients that dry-skinned people should use, and I'm oily skin, so I already know that yogurt and honey are probably not going to be the best for me. I love aloe to death, so I'm excited to be using this guy, and I really think this might work a little bit better than this one, but we'll see. And even though this says deep hydration, this is the toner I've been using as an essence lately, and I've really been liking it, so I'm going to continue using this with the mask, and I want to see which one of the two works the best. I have two bowls here to mix the formula in. I have my little half teaspoon measurer, spoon thing. So I'm going to take, I'm going to take a little bit of this formula. At first, I thought that half a teaspoon might be too little, but now that I'm like actually scooping it out, I can see that this will be plenty for a full face. And then the other half. I'm trying to get it as even as possible. So I have the powders in their bowls. I'm going to first start with the fresh side of it, so the rose water side of it, and I'm going to just go by how many like squeezes, I guess. Like, I'll show you guys. So that's one. I'm going to take my brush and mix it in. Hopefully you guys can see. Okay, so that wasn't nearly enough. It kind of became like lumpy and it's still pretty dry, so I'm going to add a little bit more than I did the first time. Okay. So this is the second time I've added. Now it's becoming a really thick, pasty, muddy consistency, and there's still some dry powder in there, so I'm going to go in with more. Mind you, I've already crossed the limit of how much I would use in like a week, so there is quite a bit of toner you are going to have to use in order to get this mask going. But this is the third time I've added toner, and I'm adding quite a bit of liquid each time. I'm like shaking the bottle 3 or 4 times, and one use for an actual toner, I would just do like an up down on a cotton round. It's still not like, so you guys can see it's just kind of like one blob, and it's not like breaking apart and becoming creamy. It's kind of just all becoming one muddy blob. So I'm gonna go in with more toner and try to rehydrate this mask, but I really didn't think it would take this long to reach a good consistency. So I have to add a little bit more because there's this one lump at the bottom that just doesn't want to move, and everything else seems to be fine now, so I'm just gonna do like a few more drops on that little spot and try to get the last bit of powder. Yeah, perfect. So because I was stirring with my brush absorbed a lot of the product, but just to show you guys the consistency I'm going for, it's literally like really creamy. It's super close to the fresh umbrain clay consistency, but you can see the product kind of diminish, and I think it's because it's on my brush, so I'm not too mad about that. But it did take quite a bit of the secondary product to get the mask rehydrated, and I honestly thought that it would be like equal parts powder and liquid, but it's really not. You have to put quite a bit of liquid in here, and still the mask doesn't like fluff up. So I'm going to put this on this half of my face.
It smells really good, but that's because of the rose. It's not because of the actual mask.
This mask is a lot more transparent than I thought it was going to be. I don't know if this mask is transparent or it's literally like my perfect foundation color. Catch me rocking a mask as my foundation. Alright, so I'm like extremely convinced that this mask is like my foundation shade, which is great. So if MAC, you guys could actually get it right this time, let me know. But this mask, honestly, I feel it drying up around this area. I put 2 layers on, so I went over it one side, then went over again, and so far it feels really, really cooling, which I like. It's really breathable. Normally clay masks are kind of really tight and they kind of suck like the life out of your face. This one isn't doing that, and that's really surprising. Super, super lightweight. That's probably like the #1 thing I'm noticing right now. It's not heavy at all. It really just feels like a gel mask, but I can still feel the clay kicking in places that are starting to dry now. So while this guy is drying, let's get started on mixing the other formula, and we'll see how they both do. So I have my second bowl of powdered formula. This one, I kind of changed my mind now. I think the aloe might be a little harder to use because the flower extract was liquid. It was literally just like water, but this is a gel, so mixing powder into this is not going to be a pretty situation, but we'll see how it works out. But I want to do about, let's start with a little bit more. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to take a brand new mask brush, and I'm going to mix it in. So here's what it looks like, and I'm just going to stir it. Oh, this makes me nervous. Oh, okay. So the aloe is hydrating the mask a lot quicker than the toner did, which is really weird. But now it's this, it literally looks like refried beans. I know that's like kind of gross, but that's what it looks like. It's not completely hydrated, so I'm going to go in with a second dose of product, so we'll stay with that much. Looking at the sides. Actual consistency isn't changing. It's staying gel-like, and it's kind of almost like a paste. So I want to try it like this because this is the consistency that most clay masks are at. So let's just go in like this, but the consistency is going to be like super pasty, almost like tomato paste. That's what I could describe it like. It smells like medicine. Oh, why does it smell like Robitussin? Okay, so to me this smells like Robitussin, but I actually don't have the best sense of smell, so don't worry about that part. Okay. I'm probably not the best person to demo this mask because this mask literally looks like my skin color and you can't even see it. But it's fine. I will still give you a very honest review.
So this is one layer.
Okay, so right off the bat, this side of my face, the aloe side, is a lot more opaque than the rose water side, which is kind of weird because that leads me to believe that I put way too much liquid in the rose water side, but I had to because the consistency that it was giving me until this point was not workable. It was too lumpy, it was too watery in places, and I just really didn't want to put that on my face because I knew I was setting the product up for failure, and I really didn't want to do that. So I had to put in a lot more liquid on the toner side because the mask just wasn't hydrating, and I thought that the same thing was going to happen at a worse extent. And I thought the same thing was going to happen with the aloe, but the aloe actually worked out a little bit better. I still have a little bit of chunkiness throughout my face, but I did stir with a brush, and there's only so much you could do with the brush in terms of grading everything down to like a fine milky texture. But I was able to do that with the toner. With the aloe side, it's much more cooling, way more cooling than the rose side. So this leads me to recommend the aloe for anyone who has redness and anyone who needs some serious soothing properties within their mask. The rose side should be for someone who's probably normal skin. You don't really need anything too heavy, or you don't have too many concerns with your skin, and you just kind of want to like maintain the skin and really keep it nice. Then I would stay with the rose side, but so far I'm really liking the way the aloe side feels. Hey guys, I'm back. I just rinsed my face off from that mask, and my skin is slightly dry, but that's normal after a clay mask. They usually dry the skin out. My skin is really soft, but it looks the same. My blemishes don't look any smaller. My darkness is still there under my eye a little bit and around my lip area, and I still have some darkness like in the hollows of my cheek, which is usually where I try to like remove and try to even out my skin tone. But my skin feels super soft. It feels so good. So this is one of those masks I'm probably gonna do to kind of like use as a pick-me-up and try and just make my skin feel good. It didn't really do anything for me. It didn't draw out any of my impurities. It didn't clarify my skin, didn't cleanse my skin, nothing like that. My pores are still there, they're still aware, and I'm just like not disappointed, but like kind of like annoyed with the product because they give you the powder. You have to buy another product in order to use that product because they don't recommend using it with water. You have to get either honey, yogurt, aloe, or flower water, and you have to mix it at home yourself. You have to find the consistency you like, and the consistency that you probably prefer and that you like might not be the best one that the formula is, it shows the best results in. So for example, the flower one felt really good, and I think I'm going to continue using this mask with the flower and the aloe, but the flower one dried way too quick and the mask was not opaque at all. It kind of just looked like water going on the skin. So it seemed like I had put way too much of that product, but if I put less, it would have been a chunky mess. And then the aloe side, the mixing process went really good. It was really quick. I didn't have to put a lot of product in there, and the application was fine. It was still a little bit chunky, very, very little, but I didn't really mind it, and it kind of smoothed my skin out and like made it softer, but other than that, it's kind of just the same. My pores are the same, and all that. Another interesting thing, I want to let you guys know how I take my masks off, especially clay ones like this. I like to take warm water and I like to press it into the face multiple times because you have to rehydrate clay masks. Clay masks and charcoal masks that aren't peel off, you have to rehydrate and then take them off. Otherwise, you're going to be trying to remove it for longer than you need to. You have to rehydrate it, you have to let the water sit in there for a second, and then you want to take water and then start to kind of slough it off your skin. So in that process, I've learned that I take off every single bit of mask that's left on my face. I really make sure that my pores are clean, and I really make sure there's no mask like down here. I make sure that it's out of my hair. I make sure it's off my neck. I really, really, really wash my face, and I really work the water in a way that makes sure that every single speck of product is gone. At least for the products that I've tried in the past, this technique has worked the best. But for this mask, while I was wiping my face with a towel, you could see that some of the pigment from the formula came off on my towel, which means that my face was not thoroughly cleaned. And if my face is not thoroughly cleaned after all I did to it with the water, then that's just too much. That's way too extra. And because this doesn't have a binding agent, because this formula doesn't have a stabilizer, it doesn't have a slip product, so like a dimethicone or a silicone, it makes it really hard for the product to come off the skin and out of your pores. So just because I went through that, I want to go over my skin with just the toner and a cotton round and see if I pick up any more excess product, and if I do, that's not a good sign. So I'm just going to put the normal amount of toner that I use, which the petals are blocking it, which, you know, regular amount, and I'm just going to sweep it over the skin to see if any more excess product comes off on it. Okay, so yeah, I don't know if you guys could see that, but the lights are kind of bright. I apologize for that, but it definitely, excess product did come off. Not a whole lot, which is a good sign, but you know, quite a bit did come off, and that's not a really good sign for me. I don't prefer to use a mask like that. I'm such a clean freak, you know, in every part of my life. My room, my car, my everything has to be neat and clean, and you could just imagine how much I want my pores to be clean. So using a mask like this might frustrate me more than help me. So for me, it's a no-go. This is not Skin Sister approved. I'm sorry, I really wish I really wanted to like this mask. It's a super cool idea, but for $22, $23, it's really just not worth it. And you know, going through all that hassle and still not knowing your consistency, and out of the 4 ingredients, you might not have any of them, or you might not know like which one is the best for you, and that just kind of sucks. I picked the 2 liquids to go with the powders because I know my skin type and I know what works best for me, but not everyone has that knowledge. So I really want to I really wanted to like this mask, but unfortunately I really don't, and I'm gonna pass it off to a friend who might like it more than me. But thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you guys tuning into my reviews. Please stay tuned on my Instagram and on my YouTube channel. I have a lot of good videos coming out, and I have a lot of good content on my Instagram coming out, so give me a thumbs up, go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.